Everyone, in this video we are going to discuss about Meterpreter. So Meterpreter stands for Metasploit Interpreter. Meterpreter is an advanced dynamically extensible payload. So this is the payload provided by Metasploit, and this gives us a shell. So like in our we have Windows shell. So on this Windows XP, for example, this is our attacker, this is a victim machine, and if we are going to attack our Windows XP, so in our previous video we saw that how we can get the Windows shell on the target machine, and we could do everything which we can do on which we can do in our normal Windows shell. But now this is a Meterpreter shell that is an advanced thing. And with this Meterpreter shell, we can actually extend the functionality of Metasploit itself. So this is a payload which can extend the functionality of Metasploit. And the important thing is that this runs, so nothing is written on the hard disk of the target system, and it loads everything in memory. So this is the reason this is written that this uses in-memory DLL injection staggers, and it only runs in memory and does not save anything on the hard disk. And advantage of this is that this actually minimizes the footprint on the target system. So footprint means it minimizes the proof of our presence on this target system. For example, we attack this machine, and if someone is there who wants to find out or who wants to trace us back, then in this case, if you are using Meterpreter, then this becomes challenging for that person to find it out that who attacked and what has been done there. So it minimizes the footprint on the target system. Okay, with this, maybe we use a virtual machine to demonstrate the idea, and we can see what we can do with the Meterpreter shell. So what we'll be doing, we will be performing this activity in a virtual environment. We will have a Kali Linux machine, and we will have Windows XP machine. And by using Metasploit framework, we will achieve the Meterpreter shell on this machine, and then we will see what we can do with the help of Meterpreter. Now for demonstration purpose, I have taken this Kali Linux machine, and so I'm using VMware, and in this VMware virtualization software I have two virtual machines. One is Kali Linux and second one is Windows XP machine. And we have discussed in our previous video how to install it and how to exploit this Windows XP machine for some vulnerability available there. So we are going to use the same vulnerability, and we will, in this video, we'll achieve or we'll get the Meterpreter shell on this Windows XP machine. And first of all, we are going to see whether they are on the same network. So for this, we are going to see what IP address they have. So for this one, for this Kali Linux machine, we are going to use, for this is ifconfig in Kali, and you can see what is the IP address we have here. So this is 192.168.244.130. So this is the IP address for Kali Linux machine. And the same way, if we go to Windows XP machine, and if we run cmd to get command prompt here, and the command prompt, if I write ipconfig, so that is Windows version, to find out the IP address there. So this is the IP address 192.168.244.133, and this was 244 and 244, and this was 130. So that is maybe I put it here. So this is 133 and that is 130. Okay, now we want to use Metasploit framework, and to launch this Metasploit framework, we have to run this msf console and press enter. So this will actually start all the databases required, and it will launch the msf console, our Metasploit framework for us, so that we can attack our target machine, that is in our case Windows XP. So it may take some time to load to get these all things ready for us. And once we are done with that, I'll search for a vulnerability, that is ms08.06. oh sorry, I need to press numlock here first. So ms08.06 -067. So we have discussed this vulnerability available on Windows XP machine in our previous video. So we are going to use this vulnerability on our target machine to get the Meterpreter shell. So as a result of that search, we have this exploit which we can run against the target machine. So we can say we have to use this command, so use this payload against the target machine. And for that, we can also copy this whole thing here, or we can just give this number, right? So I'm going to give this number 0. So use this exploit against the target machine. And instead of giving these all things, I'm just putting number here, number of that exploit. So now we put this use 0, and now it will use this payload against the target machine. You can see this. So this will use, sorry, this exploit against this target machine. And for this, it says that we have not set any payload. And if you have not set any payload, then this is going to use default Windows Meterpreter TCP. And we also want that Meterpreter session should be established at the target machine. So we are not changing any payload here. By default payload, this has been selected, and I am going to use it, use the same. Okay, so once we have selected the exploit we are using, and we have selected the payload we are using, we can see the options here. We need to see some options, say what options we can configure here. So you can see these are some options which we need to configure. One option is our host, so we need to give the remote host IP address and the remote port, that is 445. We'll be using this one, and we'll be using SM Pipe browser. And then also local host, what local host we are using, and that one local port we are using there. So I'm going to set the remote host, right? We are going to see this one here, remote host. So remote host in our case is Windows XP machine, and IP address for Windows XP machine is 192.168.244.133. So that is the remote host Windows XP machine, and we press enter. So in this way we have set the remote host IP address. And we are also going to set the local host IP address. So say set LHOST, and the IP address is 192.168.244.130. Let me confirm it. What was the local IP address here? We saw here 130.244.130 is the local host. So there's the local host. It means the attacking machine, which is Kali. So we set the local host as well. And now once we have set these options, we can just run a command, that is exploit. And with this exploit command, we are going to launch this exploit against a target machine. And you can see started TCP handler. And finally, it says that Meterpreter has opened this session. Okay, so now we got this Meterpreter shell. You can see this Meterpreter is written here. And if we want we want the normal Windows shell, then we can just say shell, and you can see this is the normal shell of Windows machine, right, of this machine XP. Okay, and if you want to go back to our Meterpreter shell, then we just have to write exit, and then we will be back to our Meterpreter shell. Right, so we have discussed that Meterpreter shell is advanced, and we can do a lot of things there. So for that, first of all, I'm going to use help command. So help will give us the help will provide us all the help. This will display the Meterpreter help, and it will display the menu which can be created which can be executed against the victim machine. So let's see what we can do. There are a lot of commands here which we can use. So I'm using help command and press enter, and as a result of help command, you can see we have many things here. So we have all commands which we can use against our target machine, that's Windows XP. And these commands are classified as per their functions. For example, so say these are the core commands, and these core commands are like backgrounds the current session, bg alias is for background, bg kill, that kills a background Meterpreter script, bg list running background scripts. So let's say we have these all core commands which we can use. For example, for the background, so like background, if we want that this current Meterpreter session should go in the background, use that background command here. Go here, say background, and press enter. But at the moment we are not using this one. So let's go back. So we have, yeah, so we have all these commands which are known as core command. And so after this we have other types of commands. These are known as file system commands. So system commands like get reads the contents of a file to the screen, cd changes the directory, checksum. So these all are the commands which we can use in Meterpreter shell. You can see we can also use make directory, move source to destination. And then we also have networking commands. We have ARPR that displays the host ARP cache. And then also we have get proxy, ifconfig, ipconfig. So these all commands we can use there. And then we also have system commands. And then this is the clearev, clear the event log. We'll be using this command in a moment. And then we also have get pd, that get the current process identifier. So in this way you can see these all commands we can use. And then this we have user interface commands, and you can see also we have webcam commands. We can control the webcam of the target machine as well. And then we have audio output commands. It means we can also control the audio of the target machine. And then we have, if you want to elevate the privileges, so attempt to elevate your privileges to that of local system, we can use that as well. And then we have password database commands. Okay, so you can see these are many commands which we can use in our Meterpreter shell. And let's use some of the commands which we so to learn more something. So you can experience and use these all commands by yourself. I'm using some of the commands, very easy ones. For example, very simple one maybe. So first command I'm using is sysinfo, that is sysinfo, sysinfo. And the sysinfo command will give us information about the target operating system and its architecture, for example. So I'm at the moment in the Kali Linux machine. I want to get the information or system information about a target, that is Windows XP. But if I don't know, for example, then I can use this command in our Meterpreter shell and press enter. And you can see Meterpreter has given me information about the computer, which is Windows XP. And you can see this using service pack 3, and this is the architecture, system language, domain name. So it means this on our Linux machine we are able to collect the information about Windows XP, which is this machine, which is our target machine. Very useful command, sysinfo. And the next command which we are going to see is the get user ID. So for example, we want to get the user that the server is running as. So in this case, actually the target machine is known as server. So we want to see that on target machine which user we are working. So for that information, to get that information, we have to use get uid and press enter. And you can see the server username is anti-authority system. So that is from Windows XP, right? So that's our target machine. And in the same way, we can also use some command that is netstat, netstat. And this command, netstat command, is used to display the network connection. So all the ports which are listening and the incoming and outgoing connection will be shown with the help of this command. Okay, so netstat and press enter, and you can see here we have the information about the connection list. And connection list is the protocol, and this is the local address, this is the remote address. So maybe I should increase the size here of this window, and then if I run the same command again so that we can read it now. So this is, you can see, protocol, local address, remote address, state, and it means to which machines, to which computers our XP is connected with. You can see this is the local address, that's Windows XP address, and now this Windows XP is connected with, for example, this machine using this port number and this port. So these are the ports and incoming and outgoing connections. So that is also very much useful information, where we are getting we are collecting more information about our target system. And then there was also command that was getsystem. So getsystem will try to escalate the privileges. So by using various exploits, Meterpreter tries to find out the administrative privileges with this one. So let's say use this command, that is getsystem, and if you press enter, it says that we are already running a system. Otherwise it would have tried to get the administrative privileges. And then there is also command that is known as hashdump, and that hashdump is used to retrieve password hashes from the victim. So victim machine is the Windows XP machine, and from that we can get the hash functions. And if we have the hash functions, we can maybe come up with a password. So we can use that command as well, and for that we have this hash dump, and press enter, and you can see for the administrator, for the guest account, and these all accounts, we got the hash values. And then we can also search some files, so we can also use this command to search some specific file there. And then we can also do some uploads and downloads, right? Like from our attacking machine to target machine, if we want to upload some files, then first of all I'm going to see that from using Meterpreter, which directory we are working in. So for that we can say like present working directory, pwd, and press enter, and it says that on our Windows XP machine we are at the moment at the desktop and setting, administrator, and desktop. So this is the current working directory which we are working in, right? So let's go here. See here on our Windows XP machine, this is our desktop. You can see very clear desktop, we have nothing there. And now as a proof that we are really in this directory, we are going to create a directory from our Kali Linux machine, and that directory we are creating at the desktop of Windows XP. And for that we have a command that is make directory, and then there we are going to give it a name like newbie, and we press enter, and so it's a make directory newbie, and let's say as a proof, let's see, do we have this here? You can see yes, we have created this directory, which is actually a folder in the case of Windows, and we have this one. Let's try maybe in second one as well, make directory, and let's say today, and press enter. So do we have this today here? Yes, you can see we have this. So it means now we can create these directories on our target machine from our Metasploit, right? And in the same way, let's say we are going to create a file on our local machine. So when we use present pwd, it is going to show us the current directory of Windows machine, even though we are working from we are at Kali Linux machine. Then how to see our directory here of Kali Linux machine? So that is, I think, get local working directory. I think this is get lwd. Let's try it. Yes, so get lwd gives us the directory of Kali Linux where we are working, right? So this is the current Kali Linux directory. Okay, now what we are going to do, we are going to create a file here on our Kali Linux machine, and then we'll try to upload that file to Windows XP. So for that I'm going to create a simple text file using cat command. Hopefully you know, if you remember text editor. So I'm going to say cat and the name of the text file, maybe I'm going to give it a test.txt. This is the text file I'm creating, and here oh sorry, not from here, so not from here, I'm going to launch a new terminal, and here I'm saying that get and then say test.txt, press enter, and now I'm going to put some contents there. So this is only for testing, for example, and then we say control D, and let's say present working directory. This is home Kali. So on the home Kali we have created this text file. Let's see, use ls-l command, and you can see we have this text file. And we, in the same way, we can also create maybe some other file as well. So we have created this test.txt, and if you want to see what we have there, so test get, and then we can say test.txt, we can see the contents there, right? So we have created a file on our Kali Linux machine, and that is available in this directory. So this is in this directory, and now let's go back to our Meterpreter shell here, right from here, and now you can see we want to upload. So from here you know that we are in the same directory, and now we can upload that text file to a Windows XP machine. So for that, command is simple upload, and then we have to specify the name of that file, that was test.txt, and then we press enter, and hopefully after enter we can see this uploading this file. So this, from this directory, this has been uploaded, and this should be uploaded to the current working directory of Windows machine, which is actually desktop, right? So it means this file should appear here, and yes, so we can see we have this file here, and if we try to open it, you can see this is only for testing, right? So in this way we can also upload some files from our attacking machine to target machine, and in the same way we can also download those files as well. And for downloads, we can simply use the download command from there, right? So for example, if we create like this, also I want to show here, like here we are going to create a new text file here, this one, right? Let's say give it the name of newbie, and now we want to download this file to our Kali Linux machine. So for that we will write download, and file is newbie.txt, and press enter. This is downloading, and this has been downloaded in home Kali folder, or the directory here in case of Linux. So we want to verify it, then we can go to home, and then we can see here it's home Kali, you can see here, and we have this file, that's newbie, and we click there. We don't have anything file because we didn't write anything there. So in this way we can upload and download these files, or it means not only files, we can upload anything, maybe some other files which can be malicious for the target machine, or by this we can to create some backdoor like this. Okay, so this is how we can upload and download, and this is how we can use some very well-known commands there. And one very interesting thing which I also saw, that we have some web commands there. So maybe if I just use this one again, help, and help, you can see we had some we saw this command, and there were some also webcam commands, right? So record mic and record webcam, which we can also do, and there's also some screenshot command somewhere here. So screenshot means we can take the screenshot of this target machine. So you can see this is the target machine, and let's say I'm going to say this like this. So hopefully this will stay there, or maybe we click there and click this one, and we have this screen, right? We want to capture this screen of the target machine from our attacking machine using Meterpreter. So for that we have this Meterpreter session here, Meterpreter shell there, and to grab the screenshot of the target machine to see what is going on the target machine, we can use this simple command, that is screen and shot. SEREEN and we press enter. And you can see a screenshot has been taken and this is saved in our Kali directory. And this is the name. And let's see, go back here and we want to verify whether this has been done. We go to home directory and you can see here this is the file name, right? If I double click there, we want to see whether that screen has been captured from the target machine or not. So you can see yes, we have this screen on our Windows XP machine, right? So it means we can also take the screenshot from the target machine, and in the same way we can also get the webcam as well. So webcam commands are also given here. So in this way you can actually use and get the help from there, and you can use all these commands which you see here, like maybe get desktop, get the current Meterpreter desktop, and you can use shell. We also saw this one, and then reboots the recomputer. So you can see this also interesting that we want to reboot the remote computer. Let's use it, reboot. And for this, let's go back here and then we are going to say reboot and press enter, and say it's rebooting. Let's go back here. What happens? You can see it's logging on, Windows shutting down, and hopefully it will reboot the computer. It means from our tracking machine we can actually reboot the target system as well, right? So this is XCC, this message is shown here, and this is actually rebooting the system. It may take some time, but after some time it will also reboot the system. So yes, I want to emphasize that the commands available in Meterpreter shell cannot be run in the routine shell of Windows, right? And yes, if we go back, it's still working to reboot the system. Yes, it may take some time. Okay, so for example, we just use the screen capture command and then say what after this reboot. You see here, after this reboot it says the Meterpreter session 2 closed, reason died, because we rebooted the system, reason died, right? So Meterpreter session has been died. Now if we want to see the created sessions, then we have command that is sessions, so as SESSIONS sessions, and we press enter. We want to see that if we have maybe I made a mistake in spelling, so SESSIONS sessions, and you can see there are no active sessions. It means the sessions which we established that has been terminated, right? Then maybe we have already selected, everything has been selected, so we are just running same exploit command again, and you can see now this is again coming up and has given us Meterpreter sessions again. And now one last command which I want to show you is clear event log. So clearev, this will actually clear all the system applications and security logs. So I want to show you maybe in Windows system. Let's go here in Windows system. Here we have, I think, somewhere in the control panel there is some event viewers. So performance and maintenance, right? And here in performance and maintenance we have these administrative tools, and here we have these event viewers. See here we have these application security systems, so all of the information is saved here. And if you want to remove all these which can be used by someone to trace us back, so we want to remove these things, and for that we have a command that is in Kali Linux machine. Here we have used that command, and that is clearev, that will be clearing the event log. So this will clear all the system application and security log files from the target machine. The command is clearev and press enter, and you can see it says wiping these many records from the application, these many records from systems, and these many records from security. So it means these relevant records from Windows system might have been removed. Okay, so just to wipe out the proof or something, or the footprint. So that is really very much important command to remember. And yes, so this was a brief introduction of Meterpreter and the commands, and with practice you will learn more. And thank you very much for your time, and hope to see you in some other video in future.